Este é o podcast que dá a conhecer o outro lado de famosos e anónimos, onde há risos intermináveis e onde mostramos projetos fantásticos nas mais diversas áreas. Este é o Não Há Dois Sem Três. O podcast não deixa ninguém de fora. Olá, bem-vindos a mais um Não Há Dois Sem Três. Hoje vai ser o nosso segundo podcast com entrevistar um coreano, neste caso uma coreana. Eu vou ter o prazer de entrevistar a minha professora de coreano, Ji Yun Kang. É um gosto, está-me aqui a fotografar já, ela gosta muito de tirar fotografias. Muito bem, pois ela gosta muito do Instagram, ela percebe como depois pôr no Instagram. Vamos ter que fazer a entrevista em inglês, claro, porque a professora é a língua que nós falamos melhor, os dois, não é? E pronto, vou agora começar a falar um bocadinho inglês. Vamos falar aqui um bocadinho sobre a carreira como professora, a vida na Coreia. E 안녕하세요, 선생님.
안녕하세요.
How are you? How do you feel being in the podcast?
I'm really excited because this is my first time to see what podcaster's life is, and then this is my first time to be interviewed by the podcasters. So yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you very much for accepting my invitation. You are my first Korean teacher, and like I told you, one of the best, and your classes were super fun. So it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. My first question is, how were you as a child in Korea? How was your childhood in your country?
My childhood in Korea? I don't know. Every child in Korea is very used to the competitive life since we were very, very young. And nowadays, a lot of young people, especially the children, go to the English preschool to learn English. And yeah, since we were young, very competitive, and we were trained to be competitive. So I attended a lot of academies like English, mathematics, or piano. Yeah, but I liked it when I was young. Yeah.
Do you feel that competitivity that you meant, and you learned? I wanted to ask you: do you think that competition that it implied to you as a child, and also learning the alphabet, Latin alphabet in English as a child, how did that impact your life as a person?
To be honest, I was the one who started my English very late compared to other people. But anyway, thanks to my dad, who has language brain, and I have my language brain also. So yeah, I started to learn English and other foreign languages very passionately since I was 13, maybe. So yeah, that makes me study hard after middle school. So I studied English very hard since middle school, and I attended the foreign language high school, and then I'm in Portugal right now. Yes.
That part of the competitivity that I know you mentioned, in some societies around the world, children are not taught to maybe help each other in society, but to compete, to achieve a better job, a better position in life. How do you think that impacts the Korean society?
I mean, like 20 or 30 years ago, it was not this competitive, but nowadays, children have no opportunity to hang out with other young children outside. We usually go to school, or we usually go to the private academy to study, and then we meet our friends there. So we know we have to help each other, like academically, but we have no chance to help each other in the real society. So now, if you visit Korea, people are very cold. You can feel it. I mean, Koreans are very passionate in working, but people are very people look very cold when you see them on the street or in the subway on our way to work. So a lot of people who travel to Korea would agree that there would be some people in the subway and someone who stepped on your feet but don't say sorry. Maybe a lot of foreigners would agree that because we are very exhausted and tired with our life and we are not interested in other people's life that much. Yeah, so we are not that used to saying sorry to other people or thank you. So yeah, it's a huge problem in Korea right now. Maybe everyone will agree with that. Maybe some Koreans would not agree with that and feel offended that I attack Koreans, but this is true.
You're from a capital city, you're from Seoul, and that in every country it's a bit different. The capital city in cities like Busan and Jeju, and do you think that changes a little bit in the inside part of the country?
Yes, I was born and raised in Seoul, and then Seoul is the capital city, and it's a very huge city. So people are more individualists, and we don't care other people more than other people in southern part. If you visit Busan, then you will feel more energetic, and people are more hot. I mean, warm-hearted. Yeah, very welcoming. Yeah, effective, but quite strong as well. Yeah. Anyway, so the southern part people are warmer than the people in Seoul.
In Lisbon is the same. Lisboa and Porto is exactly the same. In Lisbon, people are also very individual. When you go to the inside, it's the same. Do you believe that workaholic? You mentioned in our classes that you spend a lot of time in school, sometimes to 10 o'clock in the night. Do you think that leads to exhaustion? Because you mentioned that two colleagues of yours committed suicide. How do you think that pressure on students and pressure in working affects you as people, students and workers?
Since we were young, we were trained to be perfect. Like we have to study hard, we have to work hard too. How can I explain? To make our life better. But as far as I know, Korea is already rich and Korea is already modern and well-developed country. But we always try hard to get more happier life, like richer life. And we always compare each other. And even if I had a lot of money, we always compare ourselves to other people and then try to, oh, I think I'm poorer than him or I think I'm poorer than her. So I need to keep on it. I need to keep working like much harder. So that's our basic concept in our mind since we are very, very young. So yeah, I think that even though the Korean society is already well developed and rich, we always compare and try to work hard. So that's the start and the beginning of being gloomy and depressed. So yeah, we always, even though we are quite successful, we feel like depressed or we feel I'm retarded than others or something like this. Yeah.
Have you ever had a moment in school or college that you felt like you were in mental exhaustion, or a mental breakdown?
When I was in high school, I attended the foreign language high school. It's kind of a so-called elite course, and everyone studied really hard until like 11 p.m. in school. Yes, but it's common in Korea. Like, yeah, we go to the high school at 7:30 or 8 a.m. in the morning, and then we finish our studying at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. But it's very common. So I always studied hard, but I liked it because as far like as you know, I really like learning language, and I attended the Korean language high school. So I loved my school life, but other people were suffering from the depression and the, obsession to be perfect. So it was really hard for other people. But I'm sorry, what was your question?
My question was if you ever had a moment, you explained, but if you ever had a moment with extreme exhaustion, you felt really, really tired.
Okay. So my point is, when I was in high school, luckily I didn't feel any exhaustion from my language or from my studying. But after I got a job, I felt a lot of exhaustion. I really loved my job as a Korean teacher in the university, but I always compare myself to other people. Like, okay, I have master's degree and I have a good job as a professor in the university, but why am I getting paid so little to other people, like compared to other jobs, even though I have a master's degree? And I think my friends are getting paid more than me, or blah 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 blah. Always compare myself. I didn't wanna become the person who compares everyday life, but I became that kind of person. That's the point I felt really depressed. So that's the point when I decided to escape from Korea. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Really nice. In Portugal, maximum we leave school at 6 p.m. because we believe in work-life balance and the school-life balance. That's inhuman. What you do in Korean, for me, it's inhuman, because you should not lead a person to exhaustion to be perfect in education and work. No one is perfect, and as you can see, that left some marks in you.
Mm. Yeah. Every student in Korea doesn't want to study that hard, and we all know that, like studying in school until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. late at night, it's insane and inhumane. But as what I told you before, we hate to feel retarded. We hate to feel, I'm behind that person. So that's why we stay at school or at work later than other people. So that's the start of, making our life unhappier. Mhm.
At what time do your classes finish?
The class usually finishes at 5:30 in high school, p.m. But we have dinner time, so we have to, eat dinner at school, and then 6 to 10 is self-studying hour, self-studying times. It's not mandatory, but mandatory. You know what I mean? It's not mandatory, but nobody wants to leave school, because if we leave school and if we don't study and if we don't stay at school until late, then it means that we are gonna be retarded. We're gonna be, falling behind. So we always try to stay in school studying until late. And even on Saturday and Sunday, I was at school. Yes.
So it's part of the mentality and culture. Muito bem. And how was your experience in French, in France, in your bachelor? When you left Korea and that stressful life, how was it living and studying in another country? You told me, I have a good memory, like I told you. You told me like you arrived to France and people were like, "Ça va?" And and you were like, why is this person talking to me and saying, how are you? Like, is this person interested in me? Because in Korea it's not common to say, how are you? But in Europe it's like a greeting. How was it, the cultural shock that you felt when you arrived to an European country? You know, of course, English, but how did you feel in France in the early years?
Yeah, back can yeah, it was when I was 21 years old when I went to France for the first time. No, it was 16. But anyway, to study, I went to France at the age of 21, and then I was really young, and I have never studied in foreign countries before, so it was literally the first time to study in foreign countries. And there I was staying at the residence for the international students, and there were some French people, and I was getting downstairs, and then someone asked me, "Ça va? Bonjour, ça va?" And then I said, "Ça va." But after that, I thought, who is he? Why is he saying hello to me? Because maybe. I mean, he is a totally stranger, but why is he saying hello to me? So it was awkward for me. It was awkward to me. But anyway, a month later, I realized that this is a French, culture, and then this is a European culture, because all of my European classmates were really friendly and try to, ask if I had a good day or if I had a good weekend. So yeah, it was a culture shock, but I got really used to it more and more, and then I got to like that kind of, culture, like being interested in other people's life. It's good, yes, right? But in Korea, it's not common. Yeah, and if someone starts to ask if you had good weekend or how are you now, then okay, at first we can answer, but we will feel a bit awkward and we will feel more, interrupted. Why is he asking me? Or why is she asking me? Why is she so curious about my life? Oh, a bit tired. Yeah, something like this. But as like I said before, it's all because of the tiresomeness and the exhaustion from the, everyday life because of the work. Yes.
In Korea, basically, you meet people in your daily life, and you only talk with strangers, like in a public space, or it's not common to greet a stranger. Muito bem. Okay, and your other education as your other bachelor in Korean teaching and master in Korean teaching were in South Korea.
Yes. Right after coming back from France, I decided to become a Korean teacher for the international students, because when I was in France, I was an exchange student like Erasmus, but at the same time yeah. And at the same time I took the language program as well, so it was very hard. I needed to study twice. But anyway, my language program French teacher looked really happy with her job, like teaching her own language to the international students, like foreign students, and then she looked really happy. And yeah, back then I thought, oh, maybe it's the perfect job, like because she has summer break and winter break, and she can teach her own language to the international students. And yeah, this is a perfect job, so why not? And then after coming back from Korea, I started to take the Korean education as a foreign language bachelor course. And then after graduating from the bachelor, I went into the graduate school and I did my master's degree. Yeah, same major, Korean education as a foreign language. And then I think that it was the best choice ever in my life. Yeah, to study Korean language as a foreign language. And then I became a Korean teacher in foreign countries, and this was the best choice in my life. Seriously.
Also, I have the same job as you. I teach foreign students Portuguese, and I understand you because we meet people from all the world, and many cultures is very enriching. But I wanted to ask you, that French teacher of yours was basically your inspiration.
Yeah, her name is Natalie, and then I'm I'm still keeping in touch with her, and then I went to France in this February to see her. Yes, because she is the best teacher in my life. Yeah, seriously, because like me to you. Yeah, and then she was so lovely. I mean, I could see how happy she was with her students and her own language and her own job. So, yeah, at the age of 21, I decided to become like her. And then now I am here. Yeah, and I'm happy with my life and my job, especially my job.
Healthy routine, because could see, the routine in Korea is basically to tire people. Okay, let's move to another um, aspect of Korea. Currently, you told me in the class you need to have a master to teach, but do you remember how was your first week as a teacher?
You mean as a Korean teacher in the university? Yeah. Yeah. It was almost 5 years ago, and no, 4 years ago. Yeah, my first week at the university as a Korean teacher was totally a mess because I was working in a very big university, and the there were a lot of students and the teachers. So, and other than the students and the course, I needed to think about a lot of relationship with the other teachers. That was really uncomfortable. I mean, I was the youngest teacher in our university, and all of my colleagues are very old, like older than me. So I needed to be respectful, and at the same time, I need to focus on my language course, and also I have to take care of my students. So it was totally a mess because I needed to take care of too many things at the same time. So yeah, it was really, you know, complicated and busy. Yes. How was your week? How was your first week as a Portuguese teacher?
Um, the same as you. I didn't sleep much in the first day. I slept badly because I was nervous, but it was with a Norwegian and her husband. But fortunately, the husband left, so it was just a private lesson to the Norwegian. It was more soft. How many students did you have? But I was a bit nervous, yes, because we were beginning. How many students in that class?
Usually in Korean universities, each class has 13 to 16 students. Yes, to 16. It's normal. But as I said, I was working for a very big university, so the students who wanted to learn Korean were like 1,000 students, more than 1,000. So the teachers, my colleagues were, the numbers of my colleagues were 50. Yeah, 54 Korean teachers. Can you believe it? Too many colleagues. Yeah. Yeah, it was tiring.
What do you think it's the best part and the worst part of being a Korean teacher to foreign people?
The best thing as a Korean teacher for the foreign people is that I'm teaching the people who are passionate in learning. I mean, in Korea, the students in the high school or middle school, they don't want to study. The teachers have to beg. Teachers have to convince them to study more. But I mean, foreign students who are taking Korean course, they came to campus because they wanted to, right? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And they are taking my course because they wanted to learn. They wanted to learn Korean, right? So I'm teaching the people who are very voluntary and very passionate in learning. So I don't need to worry about the students who take a nap during class or who are using their phone during class. Yeah. But if if I were the teacher for the Korean students, then maybe I should have worried about the students who are sleeping during class or who are not passionate in learning. Yes. So yeah, I thank God I'm teaching the passionate students. And the worst thing, so far there is no worst thing. But when I was working in Korea as a Korean teacher for the Korean students, I worried about my wage income. Yeah, because Korean teachers don't get paid a lot, even though we have a good education background. So it was kind of a big problem in Korea. So a lot of Korean teachers are fighting for it right now. Okay. Yeah, there is no. What? Cecile? Rafaela. Yeah. Okay, my name? Okay, my name is Kang Ji Yun. Kang is my family name. In Korea, always the first letter it's the family name, and last two, yes, it's my real name. My friends call me Ji Yun. Ji Yun, in Chinese character, it means know the truth. Ji means to know, and Yun, it's the truth. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I attended foreign language high school, and my major was Spanish. And my Spanish native teacher was from Peru, and he gave the random Spanish name to the students always. So I got my name from my Peruvian teacher, and my Spanish name was Cecilia, and I really liked it. But now I know that it was a grandma's name. Do you know the Cecilia? It's a very old name in Spain. No? More or less? Is it a good name? Yeah? Anyway.
Not old people.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Since I was in high school, I really liked my Cecilia, Spanish name. And then after that, I entered university. My major was French. So, okay, what if I changed my Spanish name into the French name? So I made my French name into Cecile by myself. And all of my French friends, international friends, call me Cecile. I like it. And Rafaela, it's my baptized name, but I don't like it. No? Yeah. Rafaela? Oh, is it a good name? Oh, okay. Yeah. So I prefer Cecile.
I have just Luís. Luís, my new name. My friends call me Lu. Yeah, Lu. Sometimes my mom sometimes call me Liz. Yeah, but Lu and you gave me a new name, which is Luís. She. Pododzysymanitsvayo. So Senim recorded me saying Pododzysymanitsvayo. Oh my god. Okay, so the names are very important. I forgot in the beginning, but now my dear teacher, I had the pleasure to explain. Thank you very much. what was in your job your best day and your worst day as a teacher?
What was my job?
In your job until now, your best day as a teacher and the worst day, the day that it was very difficult to you.
The best day. It's every day. Especially after coming to Lisbon, my best day is almost every day as a teacher. But my worst day as a Korean teacher was 2023, and it was October 31st. You know that there was a big accident in South Korea. It was during the Halloween. You know that there was a big accident in Korea. Okay, in Korea there is a area named Itaewon, and then there were a lot of people who gather to enjoy the party, Halloween party. And then there was an accident. A lot of people fell down and died there. And also my students were there. They didn't die, but some of my students was involved in that accident. So one of my students was hospitalized. Yeah. And two of my students were treated to solve the panic disorder after that accident, because they already saw a lot of people dying on the street. So it was kind of traumatized. So yeah, it was a disaster, because there were so many people and it was so crowded that they fell down, and then yeah, it was on the street. Yeah, yeah. So it was a disaster, and I wish there were not my students, but there were. So I remember that day, because on that day I was lying down on my bed and watching the Netflix, but my mom called me like, "Where are you?" And then I'm at my home, and then she said, "You are not in Itaewon, right?" And then I said, "No, why?" My mom told me to watch the news right now. And then I turned on the TV, and then there were so many people dying on the street. And then I was really panicked, because I was afraid, what if there are my students there? And there were. So I tried to check if my students are all okay. But some of my students didn't answer me until next morning. So I couldn't sleep at all, because I was so worried. And then, yeah, unfortunately, yeah. 아? 안 잤어요. Yeah, so yeah, it was kind of a trauma, because I was really afraid if I'm losing my students. Yeah.
You create always a big connection with the students.
Always. We always make a group chatting room, like we did. Yes, and then we have to check if my students are okay, because when I was in Korea, the students are all coming from other countries, and they are very young, like 18 or 20, 22. Then I am their mom. I'm a homeroom teacher, but at the same time, I'm their mom, so I have to, yes, I have to take care of them, because they came to Korea without their parents.
No, it's so beautiful, this story, because the teacher saying that she cares a lot about the students is so beautiful, because yeah, I felt that we created a WhatsApp group, and she was so worried about us. It's really beautiful. You have a very good heart.
But the reality is really different from here, because you guys are living here in Portugal, and I'm living here. But when I was in Korea, the students were all from other countries, and they're very young. So they came here without their parents, and they're young, and they don't know how to deal with the problems. So all the Korean teachers in the Korean university, had to take care of them like a mom. Yeah, so yeah, the culture is quite different because they are all young and they are coming from Vietnam or Mongolia or other countries. So we have to take care of them.
That would be the worst time, of course. And the normal life as a teacher you mentioned. And now, the fun part of the show. Always in the show, it's called No há dois sem três. In English, it would be difficult to translate because it's a Portuguese saying that means there's no two without three. It's like three is the charm. Like when something happens twice, it should happen a third time. No há dois sem três. You understand? When something happens twice, it's going to happen a third time. And I called the show that way because there was always two hosts and a guest. Now I'm alone, but we are two, so there's the number two. No há dois sem três. We were two colleagues and a guest. And in No há dois sem três, the guest always chooses a song. And I wanted to know, which song do you want to hear now in the podcast?
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm not a music person, but 2 years ago, there was a song named Toxic Till the End. And then it was the time when I broke up with my last, no, not the last, maybe the XXX, I don't know, XX boyfriend. And then I started to listen to this song. He was not toxic, but anyway, that relationship was a bit toxic. So yeah, I want to recommend this song. It was sung by Rose. You know the 아파트, right? Yeah, she is the singer of that song. Yeah, Toxic Till the End.
Okay, so two suggestions. First, Rose, Toxic Till the End, and also Apate if you want to listen on Spotify. But now we're gonna listen to Rose, Toxic until till the end. This what proposed my Sunsenim Ji Yun Kang, and we'll be back in a moment. See you in a moment.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. How to say second part of the podcast?
두 번째 파트.
Oh, muito bem. Yeah. That's it. Muito bem. 두 번째 parte, podcast.
You will learn later.
Huh?
You
Yeah,
will learn
later. Level 20.
No.
Muito bem. Estamos de volta ao podcast com a minha querida professora Kang Ji Yun, tenho a alcunha Gigi. Eu chamo-lhe carinhosamente Gigi. Gigi é um nome carinhoso. Carinhoso em Portugal.
Obrigado.
Muito bem. Muito bem. Ouvimos a música da Rosé, muito conhecida, do Apatã. Vamos agora continuar a entrevista em inglês. And now we're going to do the quiz I mentioned to you. Okay? So, the quiz. So, what's your Chinese sign?
Chinese sign. Oh, pig.
Pig. Okay. Your favorite music from all the time?
Oh,
This
hard
one?
to tell.
Rosé?
Yeah, for now, yes.
A TV show that marked your life, like that defined.
Oh. Grey's Anatomy.
Oh.
Yes, I love the show because I learn a lot of things about life from that show.
Of course. And a movie or a movie saga that you really like. Imagine a franchise. What do you like?
Twilight.
Really?
Yes.
And what do you think that is the most annoying thing in people?
Oh. Not doing their own job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not being professional.
If they don't do their own job, they can harm other people.
That goes back to your education. Muito bem. The best advice that you received in your life was do what you love. And what is like a quote that you follow as a mantra, like Buddha? What quote do you follow in your life?
Buddha?
No, a quote that you follow like as a motto for your life. A quote that you like a lot.
Yeah, do what you love and love what you do. That's the quote I'm following so far. And I think I'm, enjoying that life right now. Yeah.
Muito bem, muito bem. Okay. Your favorite dish?
I should answer with Portuguese.
Korean.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite dish is kimchi jjigae. Spicy food.
Okay. Portuguese, you told me you don't like much Portuguese food. And your favorite Korean dessert?
I'm not a dessert person, but the coffee is included in the dessert or not? Then iced latte with oat milk.
Milk can be a dessert, I think. But you like a cake? No, not a dessert person. Muito bem. I know that you traveled a lot, but what travel didn't you make yet? And would you love to do like a dream travel? For example, my dream travel is going to Hawaii in the States. What is your dream travel?
I have never been to South America yet, so if possible, I want to visit in the future, maybe someday, to Mexico or Argentina. Yes.
Would you like to know Brazil because of the beaches?
Oh, Brazil is I don't know, I just want to visit the country where the people speak Spanish. And I cannot understand the Brazilian Portuguese.
Oh.
No,
You cannot understand?
I can't because I learned European Portuguese here in Lisbon. So maybe I will have some difficulty in understanding Brazilian Portuguese.
If you have more or less 3 classes as with a teacher, you can learn the differences and understand. 3 hours.
3 hours of Brazilian
understand the
Portuguese.
difference. Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I don't
And
need to.
you had like a variant.
Okay, yes. But
Because
I
you know
love European Portuguese.
Okay, muito bem. In your free time, what do you like to do? It was the quiz with my teacher. We finished the quiz. This is like a very philosophical question, but who are you? How do you define yourself as a person? Who is Kang Ji Yun?
It's very philosophical, but yes, I think I cannot talk about me without my job because this is my identity. And Korean teacher for foreign students was my dream job. And then from what I do, I feel too much happiness and relief. So, yes. I'm a Korean teacher. That's how I can explain myself. Yes.
And as a person, in a few words, how do you describe yourself, your adjectives? What do you think is the, as a person, what defines you the most?
Okay, with the adjective words. Okay. Passionate, positive, and happy. That's the positive way. And also, with the negative way, impatient, competitive, and I can't think of the third adjective, but that's all.
Oh, that's okay. And you're very, very sweet, and you care a lot about
yeah?
people as well. Let me add a vision from someone from outside. Muito bem. What was the most? Thank you very much. What you like to do in your hobbies when you're not teaching? What you like to do?
Actually, my hobby is to learn language. So, yeah, I'm taking Portuguese class in Nova University, where I'm working for. And in my free time, I usually go to the cafe, drinking iced coffee.
Wow.
Yeah. And studying Portuguese.
Ice coffee, 많이
많이 주세요. Yeah, and also, talk with my friends. That's all. But I really love to run as well.
Running?
So, in the morning I try to run by myself, alone.
매일?
I used to every day, 매일, but now usually 3 times a week.
Muito bom. That's what personal trainers recommend, 3 times a week. Muito bem. Perfect. What was the most funny situation you had with a student?
Yeah, it was when I was in Korea. Not a funny story, but kind of a shocking and cute episode. When I was in Korea, I was teaching a variety of the nationalities, and I taught Mongolian students in my class. And during class, there was a question like 취미가 뭐예요? It means what's your hobby? And I imagined like maybe my students would answer like, okay, drinking coffee or studying language or watching Netflix or something. But one of my students answered riding horse.
Riding?
So yeah, riding horse. So I said, what? Riding horse? What is that? Because I've never imagined if my student would
In English
say,
doesn't make sense in Korean.
I mean, it's riding horse, literally riding horse. But in Korea, nobody rides a horse, right? But my students were from Mongolia, and then their real hobby is riding horse.
You don't do that in Korea.
No. So, yeah, I thought that it was really fun episode because this is one of the culture shock and culture difference because nobody rides a horse in the daily life in Korea, and then not in Portugal not in Portugal, but Mongolian students, they ride horse like in the everyday life. Of course, if they lived in the capital, they don't ride horse, but if they are not from capital, they ride horse in the daily life.
It's a country of the horse.
Yes, so I was quite shocked positively, and then it was so cute episode, right? Yes.
In Portugal it's common, not in Lisbon, but in the countryside. We call it equitação. Equitação is horse riding. It's very common, but outside of Lisbon, okay? But not the most famous sport. The most famous is, of course, football, Cristiano Ronaldo.
It was not a sport, like not a sports-wise, it's a real life, their life, riding horse.
It's his job.
No, but they do a lot in their everyday life.
Okay. And my question was more the time you laughed more with the student answer, that it was most funny in the terms that you laughed a lot.
Yes.
Oh, it was that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was always happy, and I think that it was really hilarious when I was with my Mongolian students because do you know a lot about Mongolia?
No.
No, me neither. I didn't know anything about Mongolia, but my Mongolian students were really pure, but at the same time rough, and also they're very modern. So yeah, I realized a lot of things about Mongolia, and I fell in love with them. They are so cute.
I know that there are many horses and they have many like plain fields, but I don't know much more. And the Mongolian Empire, of course, everyone knows about that. Very good. Okay. In Korea and in Portugal, do you feel respected as a teacher? Do you think your job is there is a valorization and respect towards teachers? And how is the comparison between Korea and Portugal in terms of respecting you, respecting being in a class, and respecting the rules?
In Korea, teacher is a very respected job officially and in the society, but in real life, the students don't respect the teachers. But since I am not the teacher in the middle school or high school, I'm a professor in the university, right? So I feel I'm being respected by my students. So, but being a professor in European countries, especially in Portugal, is much better. because because our students are very welcoming and warm. If I were in France or Germany, maybe I wouldn't have felt this kind of feeling because Portuguese are more welcoming. Don't you think so? Portuguese are very welcoming.
Compared to who?
French or German?
French are very formal. Italians are more similar to Portuguese, but more extrovert and they speak loudly. But Koreans, I think, are more different culture. But I think the respect depends on the country of origin. Because in our class, I thought maybe our teacher is not used to this kind of freedom. I don't know if your education system works a bit as Chinese. In China, only the teacher speaks and the students don't communicate. It's the same in Korea. Okay, so but in Portugal, maybe it was a shock to you to have the interactions of the students.
Yes. Portuguese students intrude a lot. I mean, it's not negative. They ask a lot of questions during class, and even while I was talking, they try to say something. And then I like it because it's more interactive and more energetic class. Yeah.
So you don't agree with the Korean system education?
I agree with some, and I liked some of that, but the situation, like the environment where the classroom has no interaction between the teacher and the students, with that kind of environment, I don't agree with them.
Muito bem. Muito bem, very good. Now we're gonna listen to our second song, the next part of the show, and my dear Son Senim is gonna choose the next song. It's from a very, very popular movie. At the moment, you want to introduce the next song, artist, and the song. You want to be a podcaster for a few moments. You need to say the name of the song and the name of the artist. What we're gonna hear.
Okay, now you're gonna listen to the song named Golden by Huntrix. It's a K-pop Demon Hunters song.
And we'll see you in a while, and we'll continue the conversation. So interesting with Kang Ji Yun, my dear Son Senim. See you in a moment. We're back for the third part of this special episode in English with my Son Senim, Kang Ji Yun, Rafaela, also Cecile, many names. She's a polyglot. How many languages do you speak, Son Senim?
5, but I forgot a lot of Spanish and French. Okay.
Korean, English, Spanish, French, and now Portuguese. Oh, you're polyglot already. I'm also polyglot. I'm also 5. I'm English, French, Italian, Portuguese, and a bit of Korean now. And every Portuguese person understands Spanish, so Spanish is more or less. We have, I don't know if you knew this, but when we are born, we have an A1 of Spanish in understanding. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. We understand each other. Muito bem. Okay. Polyglot is more than 4, so we're both polyglots. Third part of the podcast, what we're going to do. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about the importance of this job. What do you think that in Portuguese society and in Korean society is the importance of the teachers? In Asia, I think it's one of the most respected jobs. I don't know if you know this about Japan. In Japan, they have all to bow before the emperor, and the teacher is the only one who doesn't have to do the bow regarding the emperor, because in Japan they believe that if there were no teachers, there wouldn't be an emperor.
I don't think it's that important in Korea right for now, because of course in the past the teacher had a lot of power, but now we don't. I mean, in Korea the teacher is a respected job officially in the society, but in real life the students don't respect the teachers, and also the parents of the students don't respect the teachers. So if you watch the Korean news, you can see a lot of teachers who commit a suicide because of the parents' excessive complaints. Yeah, I think in Korea, parents have more power than the teachers. So, not anymore. Not anymore in Korea. Teacher is not that respected job. What about in Korea? What about in Portugal?
15 years ago, very respected. Nowadays, due to technology, parents mistreat teachers, students mistreat teachers, and they don't respect them. I think technology destroyed people, and it removed the education from them, because some parents, when the children are throwing a tantrum, they give them the phone and tablet to shut them up. But it's not much respected. But why is the suicide in Korea? Why do teachers commit suicide?
Because the power of the parents got stronger, and when there are some problems between the teacher and the students, the parents keep complaining about their teachers into the school. So the teachers suffer from the complaints, and the parents bother or bullying the teachers. So they cannot defeat the depression. So the teachers committed suicide. You can see it on our news. It was a huge problem like 2 years ago.
It happens in Portugal exactly the same, except for the suicide part. They bully the teacher, they mock the teacher. They arrive and say, why is my student like this? And in the past, when the teacher complained to the parents, they talked with the child, like, why are you being like this with your teacher? And now it's the opposite. They are like, why are you treating my son like this? Society is changing. I don't know why, but teachers don't commit suicide, or only in very rare exceptions, if the person has some depression. Muito bem. Have you ever regretted being a teacher?
So far, not yet. Not yet. Never.
Have you ever planned before teaching? Have you ever considered another job?
Another job. No. Since I was young, I wanted to be a language teacher, not Korean. I didn't specify the language back then, but I wanted to be an English teacher when I was in middle school. And in my high school, I wanted to be a Spanish teacher, or when I was in bachelor, I wanted to be a French teacher. But after studying in France, after coming back from France, I decided to be a Korean teacher. So now I'm here. But anyway, since I was young, I always wanted to be a language teacher.
Your mother was a teacher, or your father? Your mother, and your father had another job.
Yeah, he was just an office worker for the semiconductor company.
And your mother taught what? Sorry.
Oh, my mom is a librarian teacher.
Okay.
Because in Korea there is a teacher named librarian teacher. It's not the librarian. It's a librarian teacher, and I don't think it exists in Europe. But in Korea there is a librarian teacher, and who makes the curriculum for the reading and other, what is that? Writing? Yeah. There are some librarian teachers in Korea, and my mom works for the library in the school, and she's a teacher, so she makes the curriculum for the reading for the students, and she really loves her job because she doesn't need to take care of a lot of students because she doesn't have her homeroom.
What is the name of your brother and mother and father? What is their names? I think it's interesting.
Oh, is it interesting? My dad is Kang Hyung-chang. My mom, Ki Young-suk. My younger brother, Kang Yun-won. Yeah, family name is Kang.
And you have the same name as your brother, the Yun. Yun is common, because you told me it can be for male and female. Muito bem. Very interesting. Ok, muito bem. Your only job was teacher in life. You don't have another job? Okay. Okay. We're gonna arrive to the end of the interview, sadly. If your child, if you met Ziyun child, what would you say to that little girl nowadays? What would you say to your child if you met her?
When you have time, try hard to hang out with a lot of people as much as possible because you can learn a lot from them.
And what do you think the child would tell you? Do you think she will be proud of what everything you achieved?
Yeah, I think so because I accomplished almost everything I wanted to do when I was little girl. So maybe she will be proud of me.
I believe so. I believe so. You have accomplished a lot. Congratulations. If you had a time machine, what period of your life would you like to visit? And would you change anything in your life with that time machine?
Yes, if I got a chance to go back to my school life, then I would major Portuguese, not French. Yeah. Because if I studied Portuguese since then, maybe I would be much more fluent in Portuguese now.
But you can take like you're taking the Portuguese course. I think that's the maybe that's you need, or you can take like a post graduation in Portuguese. So okay, in that same time machine, if you could pick a time period from human history, what would you like to visit? What time period in human history is fascinating to you? Like prehistory, would you like to visit?
I've never thought about it before.
We always ask that.
I need time to think about it. What about you?
I would love to go to the dinosaurs to get to see the dinosaurs because or the prehistoric man, yeah, or the Renaissance, the time of the discovery of the world. Would you like to visit a certain part of Korea history, for example?
Right after the independence from Japan. Maybe. Because right after the independence, maybe people are all happy and feel more freedom. So I want to enjoy that.
Would you try to stop the dictatorship in South Korea?
Dictatorship? No, not. I'm not talking about the dictatorship. I'm talking about the colonization from Korean colonization from Japan.
But after that, there was a dictatorship in South Korea. Would
Yeah.
you stop that?
Yeah, of course. Who loves dictatorship? But how can I stop it? Anyway, I just want to just enjoy the freedom. Okay.
Sonsenium, the most beautiful part of this whole podcast is quem gosta de uma ditadura? Who loves a dictatorship? She's very honest. Muito bem. So after 1945. Muito bem. We always finish the show with a question in Portuguese. I'm going to say very slowly. It's não há canção sem. It means there is no canção without. So what is essential in your life? What is a thing that you don't exist without?
Language.
I don't agree.
What?
Iced coffee.
Iced coffee? Yes, true. True. Korean style or American style iced coffee.
And language.
And language.
Oh.
And also the sunlight of Portugal. Yes.
Sonsenim, I think you were one of my favorite guests of all the more than 100. It was really nice. It was nice to do an interview in English. The other Korean I interviewed, it was many years ago, but I really love to talk with Koreans, very interesting people. It was a great honor to have you here. Thank you very much for sharing your job and accepting you. And also thank you very much for being my teacher and showing me your language. I really love Korean. I wish you all the best. You're a very good person. And thank you so much. 감사합니다. 선생님. And I hope you liked the interview.
Yeah, it was so fun. I really want to brag about this to my Korean friends.
You can then send them the link on Spotify and Instagram. But do you have any final words?
No, I don't think so. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Muito bem, it was our show from this week with my 선생님, Kang Ji Yun. Thank you very much. 감사합니다. It's thank you in Korean. Muito obrigado. I'm going to end in Portuguese. Muito obrigado aos nossos ouvintes. Foi uma entrevista em inglês com a minha professora de coreano, Kang Ji Yun. Ela tem agora um compromisso, também tem que sair. Muito obrigado a quem nos ouve. Espero que tenham gostado de conhecer a cultura coreana, esta minha professora. A Coreia do Sul é um país muito interessante. Não há dois sem café gelado, ice coffee, café gelado, sim. Tu é sem café gelado, tu, sem café gelado. Muito obrigado, 감사합니다. Continuem a acompanhar o programa no Spotify, no Instagram, no Facebook, no iTunes. Estamos em todo o lado, everywhere. We see each other on Instagram. We see each other next week. Vemo-nos para a semana. Muito obrigado à minha professora. Um abraço e até à próxima. 감사합니다. Goodbye in Korean, please.
안녕.
안녕. Muito obrigado. 감사합니다 e até à próxima. Tchau, tchau.